Riven Starfire. The chipped ceramic of the mug warmed my hands, a small comfort against the perpetual chill of the void. Another cycle, another scan of the Xylo sector. Most days, it's just dust and echoes. I'm Riven Orbit, though some call me Starfire, a nickname and more for the frustration I inspire than any radiant quality. I sift through the debris of forgotten empires, seeking not treasure, but memories. Specifically, the crystallized remnants of the memory shards. It's a lonely business, being a celestial scavenger. One might even say, a futile one. But someone has to preserve what's left when stars die and civilizations fade. The anomaly hit my senses like a physical blow. Not a gravitational disturbance, nor an energy surge, but a resonance. A perfect harmonic signature emanating from the Kepler 186f system. It wasn't natural. It wasn't a dying star. It was a deliberate beacon. Old tech, undeniably. But broadcasting a signal after centuries. Impossible unless someone wanted to be found. The data stream that followed was fragmented, corrupted, yet contained a single, chilling phrase: the archivist requires assistance. Assistance. That word tasted like ash in my mouth. The archivist. A legend whispered amongst scavengers of being said to hoard the most potent, the most dangerous memories of the galaxy. Rumor had it she didn't preserve memories, she controlled them. I'd always dismissed it as a tall tale, a warning to stay away. Now, a direct plea. It reeked of a trap. My ship, the Dust Runner, isn't built for combat, and I prefer the company of starlight to, well, anyone. Still, a signal like that, it couldn't be ignored. It felt like a fragment of a forgotten self, calling out. Old Man Tiber, the last of the true navigators, found me nursing a synth whiskey at the Void's End Cantina. He's a grizzled veteran, his face mapped with the constellations is charted. He'd heard the call too. The archivist, she doesn't ask for help, Starfire, he rasped, handing me a data chip. She demands it. The chip contains schematics modifications for the Dust Runner, a shielding matrix designed to withstand psychic interference, and a weapon, a memory disruptor, capable of unraveling even the most carefully constructed illusions. She'll test you, boy. Break you. See what memories you're willing to sacrifice. The jump to the archivist system was unsettling. The void felt thicker, heavier, as if the very fabric of space-time was resisting my approach. The archivist's fortress wasn't a station or a ship, but a nebula, sculpted into the shape of a colossal eye. Entering it felt like plunging into a dream, or perhaps someone else's nightmare. There was no turning back. The Dust Runner shuddered as the shielding matrix activated, bathing the cockpit in a pale blue light. This wasn't scavenging anymore. This was trespassing. Inside the nebula, reality fractured. Hallucinations flickered at the edge of my vision, echoes of lives I'd never lived, regrets I'd never felt. I encountered other scavengers, their minds broken, their ships stripped bare, serving as ghostly sentinels. The archivist's defenses weren't physical, but psychological. She preyed on doubt, on loss, on the buried anxieties we all carried. I also met Alara, a young navigator, fiercely independent, who'd been trapped by the archivist for months, resisting her control. She became my ally, guiding me through the labyrinthine corridors of the nebula, warning me of the archivist's traps. Alara led me to the heart of the nebula, the archive itself. A vast, cavernous space filled with swirling constellations of memory shards, billions of crystallized moments, each representing a life, a civilization, a lost dream. At the center, suspended in a web of energy, was the archivist, a being of pure psychic energy, radiating an almost unbearable intensity. She wasn't what I expected, not a monstrous tyrant, but a sorrowful guardian, overwhelmed by the weight of infinite memories. She claimed the beacon wasn't a plea for help, but a warning a rogue memory, containing a destructive power, was about to break free. The rogue memory manifested as a shadowy entity, a being of pure entropy, intent on unraveling the fabric of reality itself. It fed on loss and regret, growing stronger with every shattered moment. The archivist, weakened by centuries of safeguarding memories, couldn't contain it alone. I had to use the memory disruptor, but its power was volatile, capable of erasing entire timelines if mishandled. The battle was fought not in space, but within the minds of those connected to the archive, the chaotic, terrifying struggle for the fate of countless worlds. AIart helped me anchor my mind, focusing my will, guiding the disruptor's energy. The memory disruptor worked, but not as I expected. It didn't destroy the rogue memory, it reintegrated it. Showed it the beauty of creation alongside the pain of loss. The entity, once a force of destruction, transformed into a source of empathy, becoming a guardian of forgotten moments. In doing so, the archivist's power surged, strengthening the archive's defenses, ensuring the safety of countless memories. The archivist gifted me a shard, a crystallized memory of my own, lost long ago, a forgotten moment of joy with my father. The reintegration of the rogue memory had unforeseen consequences. The archive's power expanded, creating a ripple effect that began to rewrite timelines, altering the past. Small changes at first, a different outcome to a war, the rediscovery of a lost technology, but they were escalating rapidly. The archivist confessed she'd underestimated the power of reintegration. Now, she needed my help to stabilize the timelines, to prevent the archive from unraveling reality itself. This wasn't a reward, it was another burden. The source of the instability lay within the archive itself, a fragmented memory, a paradox that threatened to consume everything. It was a memory of the archivist's own creation, a moment where she attempted to alter the past to prevent a devastating war, but inadvertently created a far worse future. To resolve the paradox, I had to enter the memory, confront the archivist's past self, and convince her to undo her mistake. It was a dangerous journey, a descent into the heart of regret. The archivist warned me, failure means the erasure of all timelines. I stood before my past self, a younger, more idealistic archivist, convinced she was saving the galaxy. I didn't argue, didn't condemn. I showed her the consequences of her actions, the devastation she'd wrought, the suffering she'd caused. I showed her the beauty of imperfection, the necessity of loss, the resilience of life. She understood. She reversed her decision. The timeline stabilized. I returned to the Dust Runner, weary but victorious. The archive remained, a silent guardian of forgotten moments. I continued my journey, a celestial scavenger, but now I carried more than just memory shards. I carried a renewed sense of purpose and a fragment of my past, finally reclaimed.